All eyes on Doge. Big runner. To the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big runner. To the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Upward movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Upward movement in Doge. Dogecoin. 42.69. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on a Friday afternoon. How's everybody doing? There's a lot going on today. We got Bitcoin. Actually, Bitcoin's not doing that much. No, it's gold, it's silver, it's the news about crazy news. Government shutdown? I thought someone said yesterday, oh, there's a deal made. No, government shutdown. We got that, right? We got Epstein files. It's like, whoa, what's going on? We got a new Fed chair announcement from Trump. And but the big news is gold and silver today. And what's really going on with that selling? Why isn't Bitcoin climbing? And there's supposed to be this big rotation, huge rotation into crypto. At least that's what I read on crypto Twitter. Nope, didn't happen. That money's not going into crypto. And in fact, a lot of it turns out to be like leveraged longs. And wait, the price isn't the same in the US as it is in China. There's two different prices. A lot of stuff going on. So let's get into it. We're going to talk not only about Bitcoin, Doge. ETH is down a lot. So why is ETH dropping? News on Doge. We got that. Some news anyway, which is good. And yeah, gold and silver. So let's get into it, guys. As we start here on a Friday afternoon, we're just going to go right to the silver chart. We'll just go right to the silver chart. And we'll be like, wait, what happened today? What happened today? Big drop in silver. There you go. So there's your chart of the day right there, silver. If you guys didn't hear, because it was all over the news today, silver just tanked. All of this work. This is a daily chart. So the last time, well, silver actually came all the way down to about $76. That's the price where it was here on January 9th. So all of the gains from January 9th got wiped out. And that happened fast. That's crazy. Acting like a meme, yes. Acting like a meme token. I posted, someone is rug pulling silver. And it's worse. It was down 30. I caught it when it was at $77, down 33% on the day. Down 33% on the day. It's just like, wow, that's quite the drop. So it's recovered to about $83, $84. But I don't know if this is going to bounce back up or what's going on. This could also be a sign that like things are not all great in all the markets. And what gold did today, down 10%, wasn't really great either. Gold went down to where it was on January 20th, not quite on January 9th, where it was at about 4,500. Didn't quite go that low. But this could be a sign like, things just aren't doing all that great. S&P 500 is still, although it was a pullback a little bit today below my support line, it's still not too far from all-time high. The NASDAQ fell a little bit more today, as well as the Dow Jones was down a bit. NASDAQ down over 1% as well as the Russell, but it's still fairly close to its all-time high. But I'm going to talk about Meggle. I bought Meggle on the dip yesterday afternoon, right there. I got it $1.18 on Meggle. And Meggle today decided to actually spike up a little, up to about $1.32, but I didn't catch that. So I have my Meggle at $1.18. I'm waiting for the bigger move up here when that happens. So this is just my swing trading. I'm not buying anything else. As I told you guys, I'm not buying. I think the market's going lower. I think the stock market's going lower. Gold and silver are going to go lower, and crypto is going to go lower. But hey, that's just me. I can only tell you what I'm doing. The economy isn't doing so great. It's just not doing great. So I'm not buying right now. All these other people say, buy the silver dip, buy the Bitcoin dip. And I'm like, yeah, no, thank you. I am not of the frame of mind where this is the dip. Unfortunately, I mean, everybody wants to hear everything's going up and we're all going to get rich. And I would love that to happen. It's not happening. There's no super cycle. No, I've never believed in a super cycle or extended cycle or anything like that. People just want to hear prices are going up, right? Pump my bags. And I can't do it. It's just not happening. Now, I was calling for a V-shaped recovery. I thought we would get up to about 12 cents here, because I really thought with the news this morning that we would get this, V-shaped recovery. That's what I was expecting. I thought we would at least get back over 12 cents for Dogecoin. It didn't happen. But I was excited about that this morning. I thought this recovery was going to continue up and we'd get up to 12 cents. Nope. Because we got the government shutdown now coming. And the Epstein files have the new ones have a lot of bad things about President Trump. The Bill Gates stuff is kind of funny. We can talk about that if you want, but it gives you more reason to believe. Why did Melissa Gates divorce Bill? Well, there's a chunk of it that came out today that pretty much says why Melissa said, yeah, that's enough. That's enough. We're talking STDs. We're talking Russian girls / prostitutes. Bill was dipping his wick where he probably shouldn't have been. We'll just leave it like that. So no wonder Melissa said enough is enough. We already knew she didn't like Epstein, but Bill, come on, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? But there's a lot of stuff in the new swath of files that came out today. We're not going to talk about all of that, though. That's enough of that, right? We want to see what the impact does in the markets. That doesn't have anything to do with the markets, except that Trump is named. But of course, it's a third party saying this is what someone else told them. But you kind of got to believe it. You kind of got to believe it. So let's go and let's get first. The biggest crash in the history of metals happened today, guys. Biggest crash in the history of metals. Ash Crypto does like to exaggerate, but there's no exaggerating on this today. This is real. This is real. $7.5 trillion. $7.5 trillion between gold and silver today. Now it's up a little bit from the bounce that we just showed on the charts. We'll go back to the charts in a little bit. I mean, that's twice the amount of all of crypto, the whole crypto market, in just gold and silver pulling back today. So yeah, that's big. This is huge what happened today with silver and gold. However, well, first we say, look, there are people who complain about Bitcoin being too volatile, right? Bitcoin is too volatile. Well, did you see silver today? Silver says, hold my beer, right? Hold my beer. Dump. It's like unbelievable on this price dropping so much. But then it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So we have different we have different prices here. We have different prices. We have the Western spot silver price. It went up to $116 and it dropped to $84. But then we have the Shanghai spot, which is up here now at 120. Wait, there's a $40 difference in silver between Western markets and Shanghai markets. I mean, there's some serious arbitrage that's been going on there. So what is going on? What is going on? So Bull Theory says this is classic paper manipulation. It's paper silver that's being traded here, not the real silver. It's paper. This is all some of that stuff that goes on because we're no longer on a gold standard, right? We're no longer trading real assets. We're trading pieces of paper. We're trading pieces of paper. Hong Kong's shorted silver and locked in 235% profit. Nice. Nice that you caught that. That's a good trade. But with this difference now, we go, you know what's going on, right? This whole crash was just a mass long liquidation. Mass long liquidations on gold and silver. And that is not what's actually being traded with the actual physical gold and silver. It's paper. And not only is it paper, but it's also crypto. That's right. Because guess what? Binance, yes, our good friends over at Binance are now trading gold and silver. And what's the first thing they did? What's the first thing they did? They dumped the market. Look at the liquidation heat map on silver. $150 million. $150 million of liquidations of silver alone. Gold and silver has entered crypto trading. Unbelievable. Why did silver go down today? Frickin' Binance, just like October 10th with crypto. They're in on the game now. They're totally in on the game. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. They're totally in on the game. So overall, we've got $300 million in liquidations. That's just in 4 hours. Wait, let's look at 12 hours. What did we end up with? $1.4 billion in liquidations. Unbelievable. Market manipulation, yes. RR, unbelievable, right? Too big for market manipulation. That's what we all thought. I thought that too. But this shows it. I mean, this shows it here. This is the Western market being manipulated while China still is pretty strong. Now, I think part of this pullback in Shanghai on silver here was just that it was going so low in the Western markets. Greenland's still a thing out there, but that's not today. Today, there was no word about Greenland, but Greenland is still a thing, yes. And so is Iran, fear of war, that's still out there. I mean, there's so many reasons why you can't trust the economy to help a big recovery especially with crypto. It's not happening, guys. It's not happening. So we have Kevin Warsh, right? Kevin Warsh is the right choice for the Fed, according to the White House. But you know what? The Wall Street Journal also says Kevin Warsh is the right choice for the Fed. If the Wall Street Journal is agreeing with Trump, sorry, we got a problem. I'm saying we got a problem. I don't think I don't think that this choice is going to work out in Trump's favor. And I'm saying this in January before he even becomes the Fed chair, which isn't until May. And come June, now I have been saying for many, many times, long time, that summer of 2026 is going to be bad. And this is another thing that we are looking for. We're looking for toughness. Well, that's why I'm saying I am not buying anything right now. I am waiting. The only thing I bought was Megal stock because I swing traded. I am not buying anything else because this is not going to look good. Exactly, Darth Mike. Well, I don't think he's going to flip on Trump. He's just not going to do anything that Trump says. Yeah, I don't know if he promised anything to Trump. Lately, he has been in his public statements saying that he thinks interest rates should be lower, but I don't know. So I don't think that's going to work out well. The Fed is still going to be independent. It is going to do Fed things, and it's just going to be a big mess. We may even see interest rates go up because inflation is going to be going up. Trump is trying to create this job market, make it look like the jobs are, that the job market is stable, but you know what you need? You need unemployment going up too. And Trump is keeping that suppressed. So, because he doesn't want huge unemployment numbers going into the midterm elections. So it's getting to be really messy. And what's going to happen in the next 24 hours? A U.S. government shutdown is basically confirmed. Polymarket and Kalshi are pricing 86% chance of U.S. government shutdown. I haven't heard anything about what's going on in Congress today talking about the government shutdown. It's just like it never happened. I mean, maybe they're going to work on Saturday, right? I mean, Congress working on Saturday? Yeah, they probably will. And so that'll be a Saturday thing. But that means paychecks get delayed, contracts get delayed, approvals get delayed. The data, yes, again, the data that the Fed relies on gets delayed. You get all these people going on furlough. It looks like that is all going to happen again. Yeah, how's Megal? As long as it's 7 days, right? So you buy and you hold and you wait for the big pump, and then you sell, and then you wait until eventually it goes back down and you buy in again. That's how I trade Megal. So the economy will slow down from uncertainty. You know, markets don't like uncertainty, and the markets are starting to price that in right now. And so that's what we have going, was these pullbacks happening. And why we didn't get the full V shape on Doge was these pullbacks. We've got Bitcoin. Bitcoin was just kind of going sideways, and we've got ETH. ETH was actually dropping lower. It was down 5%. It's already recovered 1% from that dip. But overall, the markets were just, I mean, Trump said shut down tomorrow on his truth, because it's pretty much happening. It's pretty much happening. So that's not good. We got Tesla, and this was kind of interesting. Somebody put this graphic together with SpaceX, Tesla, and XAI, and it spells sex. It's like, yeah, that would be Elon, right? He would do something like that. But this news came yesterday from Tesla earnings that there's going to be some, like SpaceX is going to merge with XAI or with Tesla. There's some kind of, there's rumblings of some kind of merge going on where there's not going to be 3 independent companies. At least 2 of these are going to merge together. And I would probably think, since Tesla is already a publicly traded company, it's probably going to be SpaceX and XAI. And these 2 are going to merge together. SpaceX and XAI, which spells sex. Yes, Charlotte. It spells sex. And that is so Elon, right? That's so Elon, Tesla, SpaceX, XAI. So we'll be watching that. And the Doge Army says, yeah, and the Boring Company, you add that to it, and now you have boring sex. I thought that was great. I got to heart that one. The boring sex, right, is the Boring Company, SpaceX, XAI, and the Boring Company. It's like boring sex. It's hilarious. That's Elon. He's having fun. Yeah, what do you think his safe word is? Exactly. Okay, let's get to it. What's going on with Bitcoin? Titan to Crypto, our friend Washagoria says we are now at a fib support line here. And he says, not my base case, but markets aren't black or white. If this level holds, a bounce remains possible. But if it doesn't, so we're going to see whether that support holds on Bitcoin. Michael Vanderpop says, look, we've got the current Z-score of Bitcoin is lower than during the bear market bottoms in 2015, 2018, the COVID crash in 2020 and 2022. That's how deep we're in the bear market already, an MVRV Z-score. Now, he also says, we might be close to the end of it. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think this is just the start, unfortunately. So I don't know exactly what the MVRV Z-score is and why it's lower than the bottom of 2022, because that was pretty bad. Bitcoin was at a price of 115,600 in 20, that's 15K. Now we're at 83K and we're lower on this MVRV score. So I don't know exactly what that means, but it is bearish. But that doesn't mean that this thing is essentially turning around. And our friend Trader Allen is like, and I showed this on my video this morning. If you didn't see my V-shape recovery this morning, that was a good video. A lot of people are seeing that. I actually went back into the markets today for this morning's video. And it's like, okay, I get it though. Bear market, people aren't around. People are doing other stuff. They don't want to talk about this stuff, but this is big, what's going on. But this was the 4-year cycles of Doge. And I said, right, Dogecoin did have a 4-year cycle front-running Bitcoin, and it went up to 48 cents. I know that's not 72 cents, but I said this whole second wave of Dogecoin shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. That was all that overhypeness with Elon and Saturday Night Live and all that stuff that caused Dogecoin to go up to 73. So people who just say, whoa, Dogecoin didn't get a higher high. Well, in the technical side of Dogecoin, I think it did. It should only have been 35 cents. Yes, Dogecoin should only have been 35 cents in 2021. I didn't tell anybody to buy Doge at 30 cents. So, whatever. Or maybe this is just one of those counts that needs to be booted. We'll see what the next line is. We'll see what the next line is, because that's going to be the one to prove whether this is a troll or not. Get a life, dude. Get a life. Get a life. Get a life. The next chat will determine. Oh, I wasn't trying to be mean. Well, you said something that I never said, and that I never said buying Doge at 30 cents. No, we got to wait. We got to wait. If it's Trollsville or not. See you, Duchess. Yeah, the history is on that side, especially when there's something that has like a sheep in the name. but we shall see. For Dogecoin fans and not SHIB fans, because SHIB has absolutely no value whatsoever, Paulo, Dogecoin dev, wrote an article today about Radio Doge, because Radio Doge does say, now I wouldn't have said buy the dip up at 30 cents. You do remember I was selling at 30 cents, right? So now if you can message me on X and clip a video where I actually said buy the dip at 30 cents, I will apologize. But I did not say buy the dip up in the 30s. I was selling. I was selling. Yes, I took profits at that level and above. I didn't say buy. Unbelievable. So Radio Doge, how it works, what it's for, how to build your own node. This is utility for Dogecoin. It allows you to send and receive Dogecoin transactions over radio waves instead of relying on the internet. In other words, you can make Dogecoin transactions without the internet. If you're out in the middle of the nowhere and you got no internet, you can actually use Dogecoin. So check this out. I have it linked on my X account. I am at KrissPax, and I have posted Paulo's article here on Radio Doge. I encourage all of you to read this because this is big. I mean, this is something that can really help the world, especially when you have people who are debanked and you have people who don't have internet access. They can still access and use Dogecoin. So, I sold my first slice at 42 cents, Grog, but I sold the rest at like 32. So, and I didn't sell all my Doge. I sold a lot of it, taking profits like you should if you are an investor. I'm a half investor, half Dogecoin supporter. So I did not sell all of my Dogecoin. My whole idea was buying the house. I sold everything else except Doge and a few other little things. So I haven't bought any more Doge back. Yeah, I don't know what your problem is. You have no evidence, right? Show me the evidence, dude. If you're so sure of what I did, you will have to show me the evidence. We continue, though. Again, this was all about manipulation. Manipulation of silver, manipulation of gold, manipulation of Bitcoin, ETH, and a little Doge. Doge had about $6.5 million of liquidations today. But the big ones were Bitcoin, ETH, and silver were the top three today. So that's what's going on in actuality. I still hold Doge. Yes, I said I would never sell all my Doge. I've said that 100 times, 1,000,000 times, that I would never sell all of my Dogecoin. We don't know if Doge is going to go on a giant run. X payments, X money is going to start. I'm going to have some Doge for that. So now if you have anything productive to say, instead of making up lies about what I may or may not have said or done, which you've been 100% incorrect on so far, then we'll listen to you. Otherwise, yeah, he's not going to make it. If you had followed me back in 2022, 2023, right, and you had done what I said then, you'd have made a 4x or 5x on your Dogecoin and Bitcoin and others, because that's when I was buying. Not going to make it. Not going to make it. XRP, $1.73. $1.73 on XRP. So you can complain all you want about Dogecoin if you're negative about Dogecoin, but you know what? It's all of crypto's down, right? It's almost everything is down. The whole market is down. I'll put my money on Doge on recovery before just about any other cryptocurrency is what I will do. Because when Dogecoin goes on a run, it goes on a big run, and it can happen in the middle of a bear market. So I just put that out there. Since January 6th, XRP is down 27%. So in 2022, Doge did not go down to 1 cent. The low is 4.95 cents. The low was 4.95 cents in June of 2022. Nobody knows these prices of Dogecoin better than me. Nobody else can quote these prices on almost exact dates in time because I lived it. I lived it. Yeah, the Truflation data is down at what, 1.75% inflation, something like that. The government doesn't give those same numbers though. So it's all of crypto. Again, ETH down 4% today. Doge down less than 1. So Doge actually is holding up fairly well. So I don't think Doge will hit 6 cents. If it does, I'm selling the house and cars and buying it. Yeah, when I did my bear market bottoms video, right? Doge was down there like 6.7 or so. You know, we joked about it the other day, about 6.7. Yeah, everyone always says that, but they never do. Do you know what they say? They say, oh, I'm not buying this. I'm waiting for it to drop even lower. And they never buy. And they never buy. David, today's a good day for you. Verizon had its best day in 16 years. Really? That's just V, isn't it? Isn't Verizon just V? Oh, that's Visa. Oh, Visa gets the V. Verizon is VZ. Whoa, look at that. Look at that Verizon chart. Well, that's pretty sweet. It went from $39 to $44 on a dividend stock. Nice. I'm just doing daily Doge buys, set it, forget it, 20 bucks a day. There you go. There you go. A pandemic will get us there. Are we having another pandemic? Is that something? Yeah, I saw somebody posted it on X. It was like 1.75% or something. You saw an article with me on it? Oh, gosh, really? Let's see what we got. I can't go to TradingView. It messes up my my chart here, but I can go here and go. Which one of my things did they actually quote? Looks like, yeah, TradingView. TradingView News. Dogecoin price could continue to decline if this doesn't happen. Could continue. So this KrissPax right there, yes. Dogecoin remains weak and could extend its already intense downtrend if its price fails to recover. Explain that without a solid bullish catalyst to drive the price upward, the meme coin could experience another price crash. Well, I don't think I really said price crash. I think I've been misquoted here. I've been misquoted. I didn't say price crash. But thank you, Casper, for pointing this out. KrissPax presented a trading view chart showing just how far he believes Dogecoin could decline if it fails to recapture market interest and demand. That is correct. Yep. So they did pick up. I used a trading view chart. So trading view does the article. Yeah. Well, thanks for pointing that out. I am in the news. Dogecoin price could continue to decline. That is correct. I just didn't say price crash. I didn't say Doge was going to have a price crash. A little bit misquoted. But hey, thanks, Casper. Appreciate it. 395,000 Doge at 12.45. Guess it's time to accumulate more. Yeah, it's lower than that. 11.5 for Doge. Yeah, and weakness in the market now. We didn't get the full V-shaped recovery, so we're a little weak. XOM moving up, 9% dividends. Those dividend stocks are doing all right. How deep will Bitcoin go? So my prediction was 69K on the bottom this summer. And when we did the bear market bottoms, I think it came out to like 63, 65, somewhere in there. So right in that range. There are a lot more predictions coming out down to 40K and 30K right now. I think Bitcoin will be able to hold a little higher. Yep. Yes, during May 6th through 12th, 2022, Dogecoin had a significant decline, falling from 12 cents to below 8 cents. And it ended up in June at 4.95 cents. Yep. Gold has had the best year since 1976. Then the record inflation of the 80s hit. You can see that. Kriss is a secret market maker. I wish I was a market maker. I'd just be making money no matter what. Welcome, DB. Happy Friday to you. The CPI number. Yeah, okay, we'll go to Trueflation, sure. Trueflation. Where can you just look at the charts? I don't want to pay for anything. Hello. I'm not logging in and creating an account. Yeah, it's making me create an account. I'm not going to do that live. So we're going to pass on that for today. All right. We'll pass on that for today. Yes, I always get misquoted, whether it's an article or I never said Doge was going to crash. I never said that. Trump and his sons made a lot of promises to the crypto world. He hasn't kept his word. Yeah, that's true. On the midterms, he'll just be out campaigning for Republican candidates. But it'll still be all about Trump and the Trump show. So and Ryan is still in profit. Right? It's all that buying back then, 2022, 2023. You were just accumulating. When Doge $5. It's at 1.23. Oh, I thought it was like 1.75. That was the last number I saw. February CPI will be below expectations. Well, they could do that. However, if we have a government shutdown, there's no government open to release the data. So it all might be delayed again. And that's not good. That's not good. Oh. It's tough out there, guys. It is tough out there. And what's going to happen with this gold and silver stuff? I mean, what's going to happen? Because these charts are just, it's just amazing to see this. Just huge dump for silver. Just amazing. Multi-trillion-dollar asset, and it just dumps. That is crazy. Trump pardoned CZ to help him with crypto projects. Can't believe Binance is leveraging silver now. Yep, it is. I mean, the silver would not do that without. I mean, you guys know how I feel about October 10th, right? CZ comes out with these tweets. It's like, hey, don't blame me. And I'm just like, yeah. I am blaming you and Binance. Oh, Binance is just an exchange. Is it really? I'd like to see Binance like stop futures trading. They won't do it because they're making millions and millions of dollars off the backs of these degen leverage traders. So they're not going to stop it. They manipulate the market completely. There's no doubt that they were involved in this. No doubt. Well, thank you, Happy Go Lucky. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just going to branch out a little bit. Now, this morning, there was enough going on to cover the markets. And I think tomorrow's video will probably be something on, going on in the economy that's not directly related to investments. But it's good to know that there's stuff going on. And it's not all good. It's just not all good. So it's just this consumer confidence poll that came out. And I think I'm going to cover that because it's not good. Not good. If everyone stopped leverage trading, the world would be a better place. The prices would definitely be different. I don't think Bitcoin would be down at 84K. The whole crypto market is like that. Cheeseburgers. Ryan, cheeseburgers. Yeah, I'm really not going to do food videos. I'm going to keep it with the economy, finances, and the markets. I'm going to stay in that zone. YouTube would see like a cheeseburger video and they'd go, "What's this guy doing?" We're not gonna show any of his videos. Keeps flip-flopping around. Cheeseburgers? Oh. The need to extract liquidity from metals to pump stocks and crypto prior to midterms. It won't be crypto. Trump doesn't care about crypto. Doesn't care about crypto. Never did. He just wanted our votes. Gotta get those Binance burgers. Steak and Shake, right? Come on, one burger. You guys are pleading. One burger video. Come on. I will weave a burger into a video. How about that? Somewhere, just to please you guys. It won't be enough, but I'll do that. Let's talk about the McDonald's stock, right? How's that stock trading? I have a gut feeling CZ is working with BlackRock, trying to make Michael Saylor go bankrupt. You know, CZ wanted to take out Dogecoin. He did. CZ wanted to take out SBF. He did. Could CZ take out Michael Saylor? That would be huge. Wow. I hadn't thought about that, but CZ, man. And he just seems so innocent. He seems so innocent. Compare all the fast food company stocks. Oh, that's an interesting angle. Yeah. And then you can rate by food reviews versus stock price, right? He needs our votes again. Yeah. Binance has much more leverage. They would take out Coinbase. They would take out Coinbase. That CZ guy, man. He says, "Oh, I'm not running Binance anymore." Yeah, he's the puppeteer behind the scenes, you know, like the marionette, right? He's like pulling the strings. You know he is. You know he is. Did you see the price of VeChain went below a penny? Price of VeChain below a penny. Do you know the last time VeChain was below a penny? You go to TradingView and you follow the red line all the way across. And you zoom out and you zoom out. And you go, nope, not 2024. Nope, not 2023. Nope, not even the bear market of 2022 did VeChain ever drop below a penny. The bottom of the bear market in 2022, VeChain did not go below a penny. 2021, nope. We go all the way back to June of 2020 was the last time VeChain was below a penny. So for almost 6 years, if you bought any VeChain, you're down on it. That's how bad the market is now for alts. Almost all-time lows. Some are at all-time lows, like Arbitrum we saw. But VeChain, look at VeChain. I mean, 2021, look at this. 26, 28 cents. It's now less than a penny for VeChain. And I'm not touching it. I'm not buying it here. Maybe this summer I'll buy some because I think it's going to be lower, even lower. But alts, man, that's a gamble. Any alt is a gamble. Even Dogecoin, I admit it. I have more faith in Dogecoin going up than VeChain, though. Fees alone are not getting you close to 100 billion. Right. This is why he takes out the leverage. That's why he manipulates the market, taking out the leverage, because trading fees aren't getting him enough. Exactly. But on those leverage trade liquidations, millions of dollars. In one day, he can make as much as an entire year of trading fees, probably, just based on dumping the market. Hey, we just do our little part, right? Try and make a little bit. Hey, the dancing Doge. We try and do our little bit. But yeah, we're in this time now where market sentiment is down. I mean, it looks like a bear market. It feels like a bear market. And yet there are people who don't believe we're in a bear market. And I'm just like, you see what's going on, guys, don't you? On the Bitcoin chart, I remind you, on New Year's Eve, I drew this white line for Bitcoin, and I talked about a relief rally. And I said, Bitcoin's going to have a relief rally. Now, I drew it up to 100K. It actually hit 98 right here. That was on the 14th of January. So that was our relief rally. And then what did I say it was going to do? And then it's going to dump down, and it's going to dump lower than where we started the year. And look what happened. There are people say, Kriss is always wrong. He never gets his predictions right. Well, for the month of January, I pretty much hit it straight on. Pretty much hit it straight on. Nobody else predicted this. Just little old KrissPax. And I'm just like, that's what's going to happen. And it did. People all excited. Bitcoin going up. Oh, Bitcoin go back to all-time high, extended cycle, super cycle. And I was like, nope. Nope. So I've started off 2026 spot on. We'll see how it plays out. If it walks like a bear and it quacks like a bear. Right, Turbo? Market sentiment is so down. Theta. It's a Theta. It's an older coin. Theta. It's with a T. The Theta token. Down to 23 cents. This was a big thing back in 2021. Another one, like VeChain, went on a huge run, 2021. You know, this looks almost like the VeChain chart. It's almost exactly the same as the VeChain chart. It is at a price now that it hasn't seen since 2020. June, July 2020 is the last time Theta was at 23 cents. It went all the way up to $14, $15. Went on some little runs, the same time Doge did, early 2024, November, December 2024. And then it's just fallen. I have never really followed this. A lot of people think that Theta is a good project. I have no idea what it does. All I can say is if you had bought any Theta over the past 5 years, you are down. It's another one of those. Theta. But again, I'm not buying any alts until the summer. I'm going to see what happens. What's my thesis on why Trump doesn't care? Because he cares about the stock market and big business. He doesn't care about you and me and our investments. That's all. That's all. Oh, and the other thing, Grogan, the other thing is, the other part of my thesis, and I've said this many times, Trump also believes in the almighty dollar, right? The US dollar. And he wants to do everything he can to support the US dollar. Crypto kind of goes against the US dollar, right? Because it's a competitor in terms of a currency. He wants people to use the dollar. He wants the world to be on a US dollar standard. And if he starts supporting Bitcoin, that goes against that. That's my thesis. So he just said what he said at the Bitcoin conference because he was invited to the Bitcoin conference. He went there and he said strategic Bitcoin reserve and free, what's his name? The Silk Road guy, and fire Gary Gensler, right? So he said those things to get votes. Now he doesn't have to say anything. He's not running. All he has to do is ignore it and just support the candidates that are running, from the House and the Senate in the fall, and he'll do that. He'll bribe people with $2,000 tariff checks, but he won't be able to do that. There's not going to be any checks. People have been talking about these damn checks for so long. It's not happening. It's not going to be any tariff checks. Even Scott Bessent said, it'll probably be some kind of tax break or something. It's not going to be checks being sent out to people. Stable coins keep the dollar strong. Exactly. Even if they're backed by bonds, it's still the dollar. It's still the monetary policy of the United States with the bonds backing stable coins. The Hood stock just dropped below $100. If you wanted to buy Hood, I think anything below $100 is good. Robinhood is doing very well. 99.43 right now. It just dropped end of the day, back below 100. When's the last time it was below $100? It dipped below $100 in early September. And here we go again. Now, is this going to crash down to the 50s, 40s, or $30? I don't know. You zoom out and you take a look, David, and you're like, well, was this all of this trading up here over $100? Does that make this a good investment or not? I'm still waiting for a whole big stock market pullback, because this stock doesn't look the same as the NASDAQ, which is where this is traded. You look at the NASDAQ, and NASDAQ is up, still near all-time highs, where Hood is coming back down. So Hood is fighting against the overall NASDAQ. I think it got overbought. After all this explosive run in gold, do you think crypto will outperform? That's tough because we're in the beginning of a bear market. So between now and the summer, again, I say, I don't think there's going to be a rotation into Bitcoin coming out of gold like there has been in the past. I don't see that happening. So Hood is starting to look good. Okay, got it. Hey, Kronos, how are you? Everything is so high. I think I'm just going to be depositing my Roth IRA. That's what I'm doing. I've got money on the side that I will be waiting for the summer. Well, and Tom Lee is going to be right on there, right? I wouldn't believe Tom Lee. He's a dreamer. His ETH is getting crushed. All that ETH he's bought. When's the last time ETH was at $2,600? It touched it on November, just one day. That was on November 21st. And before that, it wasn't at 2,600 since July. So that's a whole lot of trading where he was buying ETH and he's down on all of that. I know what his average price is. He doesn't say it like Michael Saylor does for MicroStrategy. You kind of like Tom Lee, but it just gets it just gets ridiculous. He goes on all these channels and he just talks about these unrealistic prices that they're not happening. The market is not doing what Tom Lee is predicting. How can you not believe Tom Lee? He has such a wonderful hairdo. Exactly. You made Kriss say the D word. Oh, did I say that? I'm just like, I try and keep it real here, guys. I try and keep it real. But you can see why I'm branching out on my videos. I'm making videos of other things. I keep repeating myself over and over again. You guys have heard this stuff so many times. The only difference today was silver and gold lost $7.5 trillion today in market cap. $7.5 trillion. Quite a day. Delusional with a capital D. Inverse Tom Lee. Tomfoolery. Oh, I like that one. I like that one. Turbo, good one. Tomfoolery. Too much. Yeah, so I invite you to go on X and read this article about Radio Doge if you're interested in yet another utility that Dogecoin has that nothing else can do. You can actually use crypto through radio waves. You don't have to have an internet connection. That's pretty good. Yeah, Aaron, I don't know what's going to happen with silver. No idea. And even if it did start going up again from this point, $85, you're not going to get the return as you would on Doge. But Doge, you got to wait. Silver may still go and hit new all-time highs because of the economy. It's the economy, stupid. The economy's not great, despite what Trump says. I did get Megal. I got 3,000 shares of Megal at $1.18. Megal is now, well, it closed at $1.25. It's down to $1.23 after market. But I got it at $1.18. So I'm ready for the next Megal run. I'm all loaded up now. Radio Doge. I know, right? You think silver and gold went up because of FOMO? People just jumping on the bandwagon? I believe that. But I think the big pullback is manipulation. Most revolutionary part of Dogecoin. Radio Doge. There was an $11 million long on silver, and then silver crashed. Yep. Those leverage traders. Peter Schiff says silver is getting more scarce because of its industrial use. Yeah, I don't know where the supply of silver is, how much silver is mined every year. I don't know. I covered gold the other day. Everything about gold in a video the other day. Even got into the percent of mining of gold. And I compared it to Dogecoin mining, actually. If you guys didn't watch that video. I put a whole thing in of Doge. See, I make these other videos, right? I'm making these other videos. But I always get a little thing about Dogecoin in there, you know? So if people just want to learn about gold, you can be watching this gold video and you're like, yeah, gold, gold, gold. And then what? He's talking about Dogecoin? Yeah. See what I'm doing there? You see what I'm doing there? But yeah, gold has an inflation. Gold has inflation. They keep mining more gold. It's like 1.7% because there's a lot of gold out there. So it's 1.7%. Doge is now at like 3%, but Doge will come down over time. It's a fixed number of Doge that are mined. So you do the math versus its overall supply. As its overall supply goes and the new supply stays straight, you get a lower percentage of the total. So, 8 times more paper than actual silver over levered. I believe that. Thus, it could also be manipulated, right? Totally manipulated. Hey, Joanna, you and Willie got home? I talked about XRP earlier. William missed that. XRP is not doing great. The central banks gave up on fiat, and now they're hoarding gold and silver. Yeah, China's selling all their U.S. treasuries and buying gold. Yeah, what did Pelosi do? Looking at copper. Copper. The United States Copper Index Fund. That didn't have a huge drop. And what's the other one? COPX. Global X Copper Miners ETF. It matches. Same chart. Yeah, what a big drop. Down 10%. So yeah, all the precious metals went down. He knows, yeah. The Doge truck. I know, Mars, right? I love your comments on all my videos. And I get Dogecoin in there. Even though I'm talking about something else, I was like, yeah, Dogecoin. It's just my little thing. I could do a whole video on consumer confidence, and I can still get my little plug of Dogecoin in there. So I'm going to keep doing that. Got a garage full of scrap copper. Well, I mean, look at the copper price. It's just been going up since last April. It did a 3x. Copper did a 3x. Silver could drive much higher. It could, but I think Dogecoin, when it goes on a run, it is going to outperform on a percentage basis if you're buying today. But I'm waiting again for the summer because I think Doge could be lower. If I miss it, I miss it. I still have 400,000 Dogecoin, so I'm okay. But to accumulate more, personally, I'm not doing it now. Just following the rest of the metals. So, Jason, what I've heard is those that have the real commodity aren't getting the same kind of price as what's being shown on the charts. You're not getting that when you sell. Don't forget to smash the likes, everybody. Platinum. I have it. Platinum. You buying platinum there, Matt? Buying some platinum? Well, hit a big pullback today, too. Let's see, since April, platinum has gone up. Well, to the top, it was 216%. Now it's 132 because of this big pullback here. It hit 2,900 back here on Monday, 2,900. And from Monday's high to today's low, 31% drop. You've got platinum coins. Oh. I know. I'll get misquoted again, Charlotte. What did I say? I said, I'm not buying today. But if you're buying today, you're waiting with me. Yep. Someone bought silver at the top. Yeah. Even with a leverage trade, and they got liquidated. Local scrapyard pays about 60% of the market. Matt, you sold gold and silver coins this week or last year before the big run? I can no longer comment on SHIB. Just that I would never buy any more SHIB. I can say that. I'm just keeping it at that. Never buy the coins, buy the bars. I'm on a big bar of silver. Where do you get that? Oh. If I take it to the coast in Seattle, I would get about 90%. It might come back with a bullet. Metal investors are going to start complaining of manipulation. Join the club. Exactly. Because us crypto bros, man, we're living it. You're still holding your gold? Yeah, I think gold will go higher. I think it will go higher. 5,600 is its high. It dropped below 5,000 today. Oh, it was back in 2022. Yeah. Yeah. Dogecoin was about 7 cents then. But hey, Doge will go on a run again. We'll go on a run again. Yeah, those $1 trillion that got wiped out, a lot of it probably wasn't even real money. Yeah, Binance's pocket, exactly. Will Pepe drop below 4? It's been holding in the 4s. Every drop, it goes to about 4 or 5. Will it ever drop below 4? Then I think it'll be Pepe time. Yeah, 2029 is going to be the year. Comes in packages. 2029. Or if Dogecoin front runs it, maybe 2028. Yeah, he certainly did. That whole tariff thing has just, especially for crypto. I mean, stocks still kept going up because he was doing other things to support stocks, but not crypto. Yeah, where's the Fort Knox gold? Remember last year? Yeah, we're going to go and inspect it. We're going to go see it. And then you heard nothing because it's not there. It's not there. Your first purchase of Doge, 6-cent range. Yep. Early October 2023, it dipped back into the 5s. That was the last time it was at that price. And I bought a lot there. Germany didn't get its gold back from the USA. Did the USA steal Germany's gold? Yeah, Jason, I think on the news, Trump's administration is better for crypto than Biden's, just not on the price, though. Because we had mega big runs on the price. And we're not getting them this time. Potted meat and biscuits. That's all you get. Is it a bubble? Is it a bubble, Ollie? There are something like Peter Schiff, right? He says Bitcoin was in a bubble. And it's going to just go to zero. Now, I don't think it's going to go to zero, but it could certainly fall quite a bit. That's always a possibility. Matt, I gave it all out in my bear market bottoms. Remember we did that? Bear market bottoms. I talked about all the bottoms using my fib retracement lines that I don't believe in. But I did it just to show how low it could go. And it was in the 6s. Now, personally, I said 9.5, but fib lines say 6s. Yeah, like Brian says, 6, 6.7, 6, 7, somewhere in there. 6.7. Yeah, I did bear market bottoms for, I don't know, 10 or 12 different cryptos using the almighty fib retracement tool. The bear market bottoms. You can find that on my live streams because we did it live. There's the live. And you scroll down to right before the end of, right there, 1 month ago, bear market bottoms, that live stream right there. You can click on that And you can scroll right to where you see the charts and the fib lines, and then watch that. Bear market bottoms. That was a month ago now. I haven't been proven wrong yet. I know, 67 cents. That would be nice, wouldn't it, Chuck? 67 cents. I'll take that over 6.7 cents any day. Crypto is low because big money is buying in. The adoption phase before it goes mainstream. Yeah. Bear bottoms. But I did it. I showed you all how the fib retracement tool works, and we put it to work live on a live stream. There's no AI bubble right now. It's just going up, 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 up. Yeah, Aaron, I don't think anything is a good buy now. I'm sour on the economy, if you couldn't tell. Too many warnings in the air. I think we're going to have a real, not only a debt crisis, but a monetary crisis as well in the United States. That's coming. And most people don't see it. You just don't see it coming. Yeah, exactly. August. If there's a deep enough drop in June, I may dabble a little bit. Just in case, because that's what happened in 2022. Dogecoin had its lowest price. That bear market was in June, not August. Iran's on the list, Aaron. Iran's on the list. Government shutdown. It's on the list. A lot of things on the list. Right, in technology, got blockchain, tokenization, that's all great, but it doesn't help the price of crypto. It just doesn't, particularly if it's all going to be stable coins. They do all stable coins. Okay, 11.5 cents, guys. That's where we are going into the weekend. My next live will be Monday, unless something crazy happens, but I'm kind of already booked up on Saturday. Sunday, we're one more week until the Super Bowl, and then I'll be live at the Super Bowl halftime. I'm doing a Dogecoin Super Bowl halftime extravaganza on February 8th. So look out for that. It'll be just a 25-minute live stream, so don't be late. It's only going to be 25 minutes. I got to get back to the game because my team is playing in the game. So that's coming a week from Sunday. For now, yeah, I'm kind of bearish still, as you couldn't tell. We didn't get the full V-shaped recovery for Doge. Weakness in the market. Government shutdown tomorrow. Looks like it's happening. Here we go again. I'm not watching that Bad Bunny, Ryan. No. No, the Patriots, dude. Aaron, I live in Boston. I live in Boston. Am I a Seahawks fan? No. All right, guys. Hey, everybody have a great Friday evening, great weekend. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.